Hey guys, for today's video, I'm going to talk all about hair. I'm going to tell you what my experience has been like following the curly girl method for a little over a year now. I made a year in October and I sort of gathered all of my thoughts, put it in my notes, and I'm going to share everything with you, from do's and don'ts to things that I've learned to things that I still have to learn, and my experience overall. So if you're interested, just keep watching. So if you guys don't know what the curly girl method is, I will link the literal book down below. There's a manual on it of do's and don'ts and what it is, explaining everything to you. There's a plethora of videos on YouTube that explain it to you, but very briefly, it's just not using heat, sulfates or silicones on your hair, embracing your natural hair texture. Mine is sort of like a wavy, curly texture, and just letting your hair be, letting your hair do its thing, nurturing it back to health, and just letting it live its life without constantly going against your own texture and applying heat, straight ironing, blow drying, all of this stuff. So I think that the longer that you use the curly girl method, the more your frizz goes away. I've definitely noticed that my frizz is nothing compared to what it used to be. My breakage is nothing compared to what it used to be. Obviously, the reason that I get a little canopy of frizz nowadays is because of new growth. And the reason I know this is because my frizz is mostly like up here as opposed to everything else. Back in the day, I would get frizz like all the way down here, and it was because I had so much breakage. All in all, when it comes to frizz, yes, you do sort of learn to embrace it a little bit, and it's going to get better the better your hair gets. You know, the healthier your hair gets, the more your frizz will subside. I don't go in and start diffusing my hair right out of the shower when it's dripping wet. A lot of the times I air dry. In my last hair routine, I showed you how I air dry my hair. But when I just don't feel like air drying my hair and I want to get a little bit more definition, I diffuse. And first, I diffuse on the lowest heat setting. I know you're not supposed to be using heat, but I only use heat for a tiny little while, and then I hit it with the cool to kind of set everything in each section that I'm working in. And I don't get like this close to my hair either, so it's not really damaging my hair. I've been doing this recently and I really like the results from it, better than any other diffusing techniques that I've used. So first I hover in each section, and then I kind of like grab my hair like this with my hand and I hover over it, pointing downwards. So I try not to go upwards because my hair just does not like that, especially if you're very prone to frizz. Just going upwards, it's really just going to go against the natural like shaft of your hair. So I recommend that if you are still struggling with frizz, to diffuse by hovering and then sort of like get sections of your hair and diffuse downwards. I diffuse my hair until it's like 85 to 90% dry. It's still a little damp, and then I air dry the rest of the way, and then I just wait until it's completely dry, and I go in and break up my cast with either my hands or a microfiber towel. And by the way, I have high porosity hair, and it is fine, and it is thin, and it is very prone to frizz, and it is very thirsty all the time, and it's just very, very high maintenance. Okay, my hair is more high maintenance than I am. So when I see that my frizz is not getting tamed that easily, even after I've washed my hair and applied products that I know work very well for my hair, it's because I have some kind of buildup in my hair, and it is time to clarify. I use the Buildup Buster by Diva Curl. My best wash days are right after I use this. So I will say that the fact that this doesn't lather drives me insane. I know that all of these sulfate-free shampoos aren't really supposed to lather, but the one that I use by Bounce Curl, which is one of my favorite shampoos, it lathers, and I love it for that. But this doesn't lather at all, and I feel like I have to use so much of it in order to really clarify my hair. but I will deal with it because this stuff is amazing. It tempts me to want to clarify very often, but I know that it will strip the crap out of your hair, so I only clarify at most 2 times a month. You think you've got your routine down packed. Everything looks great. You're getting very consistent results with your routines, but all of a sudden the weather kind of changes and your hair is just not having it anymore. It is most likely because you have an ingredient in those products that doesn't do well with humidity or with drier temperatures. So I find that my hair tolerates glycerin a little better when the temperature outside is not as humid. So if I know that I'm washing my hair tomorrow, I look at the weather and I try to see if it's gonna be super humid or not. I look at the frizz forecast as well, and then I plan my products accordingly. So I don't really care if there's glycerin in my shampoo and conditioner because those are things that I'm washing off. But when it comes to styling products, my hair just withstands the humidity a lot better when I have glycerin free styling products. So the two that I recently found that I really like are the Orange Marmalade Flaxseed and Aloe Curl Definer. This is a very moisturizing gel and it has a very short list of natural ingredients and it does not contain glycerin. So this is what I use as the gel. And before this, I use a little bit of the Curl Talk cream, and this combination is very, very good at withstanding a lot of humidity. So right now it's a little drier and it's obviously not as humid, so I can get away with just sticking to my regular routine. But when I see that it's going to be extremely humid and hot outside, this has been working very, very well. I get really, really good results when it is very, very, very humid outside. So try to do your research on glycerin and what it does for frizz. I'll try to find some websites or sources down below that I can link so that you guys can sort of educate yourself on how glycerin-free products can help you if you live in a place that is very humid, and when to use glycerin in your hair and when not. Because glycerin is not a bad thing. A lot of people think it's a horrible thing. It's not a bad thing. You just need to know how to change your hair routine depending on the weather. And also for glycerin, don't be scared of products that have glycerin in it if it's very low in the list of ingredients, because it's not going to be as much glycerin in the product. Just because products work for someone else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. The first thing you should do if you're gonna dive into the Curly Girl method is educate yourself and do as much research as you possibly can on your own hair before going into all of these videos. You're going to buy a bunch of products that aren't going to work for you and that you're going to end up throwing away. You're going to waste all of this money and you don't even know what your hair is. You know, you don't even know what your hair needs. It took a lot of trial and error for me to really understand my hair, understand my climate, understand the ingredients that I was using, what would work and what wouldn't work for my hair type. And I wish I had somebody sit down and tell me these exact words. Do research on your own hair prior to purchasing all of these products that you're going to see online. So another thing that I noticed when I was applying a lot of heat to my hair is that I was getting a lot of thinning. So I have hypothyroidism. I have been treating it and living with it forever. And one of the side effects is hair loss, like shedding. I used to shed like crazy, and my shedding has subsided substantially ever since I started the Curly Girl method. I have so much new hair growth, and obviously the fact that I do scalp massages and I do these treatments in my hair and I do deep conditioning, and I'm really making it a habit and a routine to nourish my hair. All of that is going to contribute to new growth and the overall health of my hair. I recommend it to every single person that comes to me and talks about any kind of hair loss. So that is 100% one of the main benefits and one of the reasons why I have kind of like stayed doing this, because I know that in the long run I'm going to thank myself. times where I really don't want to do my whole routine. I don't want to deep condition. I don't want to use a heating mask. I don't want to just do the whole 9. And there are times where I don't, to be honest. But the fact is, just at least making it a habit. You know, that's not something that I would ever do before. Because I wouldn't really pick my hair up before. I never really played around with my hair enough. I would always kind of just wear my hair down and straighten it, and that was it. So obviously I didn't want to do a scalp massage because then I had to wash my hair and I couldn't put it up. There was no nourishment going into my hair. There was a point where I was like, I don't know, I don't really know if I want to stick with this. I don't know how much longer I can stick with this. And then I went and I cut my hair at the Curl Whisperer here in Miami. Obviously, any curly hair or wavy hair or textured hair in general specialist will work, but they cut your hair with its natural texture. She cut my hair dry before applying any products, just with a leave-in conditioner. Then she went in, washed my hair, styled it, and cut it again at the end of everything and really evened everything out. It's going to make your hair look so much more even, so much thicker in the bottom, and healthier overall. I cannot recommend getting these kinds of cuts enough. They are life-changing, and not only that, since this person has so much practice on so many different types of hair textures, they're going to be an expert in your type of hair. You know, they're going to tell you what's going to work. They're going to tell you what's not going to work. She was the one who told me about the hovering and really trying to diffuse my hair, following its own pattern, and you know what products work for my type of hair and what doesn't. If you kind of go over your hair, or you go like this to your hair when it has deep conditioner in it and it feels a little dry, you want to get your palm, add a little bit more water, and keep doing it until it feels very mushy and squishy and smooth, like very, very, very smooth. You also want to do that to the canopy of your hair, and you really want to make sure that all of that moisture is getting into your hair with the deep conditioner. So the deep conditioner is going to lock all of that moisture, all of that water in your hair. So you're gonna see that even if you're applying water, your hair's kind of like retaining the water. It's getting like really plumped. The products just penetrate so much better, and my hair is so much more moisturized after I started doing that technique. I noticed that I get the best results when I saturate my hair, not all the way. I don't go into the shower and completely saturate my hair. But if you guys look at that video, which I'm going to link down below, you skip all the way to the end to the part where I'm refreshing. I really go in with this sprayer and I coat my hair completely. I don't go in and just kind of like spritz it a little bit. I find that my hair doesn't really like it when I do that. Again, I have high porosity hair. My hair is very dry. It sucks in a lot of products. So I find that when I really go in with a good layer all over my hair, every single time that I refresh, and then I go in with a little bit of gel, my curls or waves form a lot better that way, as opposed to going in with a light spritz. Dry plopping is using like a t-shirt or a microfiber towel to put your hair up and leave it there for like 15 minutes so that your curls sort of start to form. But since my hair is high porosity and it dries so quickly, I find that wet plopping works better for me. So after I'm done applying all of my styling products in the shower, I get any shower cap. I like to use one that's a little thicker, and I just flip my hair over and I slowly apply my cap. So what it does is you're getting all of your wet hair and you're just kind of like letting all that product seep in within the cap. So I find that that works better for people that have drier hair, higher porosity hair, my kind of hair. Even if this isn't something that you see yourself doing for the rest of your life, I think that It is a beautiful thing to be able to embrace your natural hair, and it will eventually get easier. I know that the beginning feels like a lot of work and it feels like it's just something that's not sustainable, but keep in mind that the healthier your hair starts getting and the more research you do on your hair, the easier it will get, and the better your hair will start looking in its natural state. I recommend that everybody at least tries it, or at the very least, between heat styling your hair, learn how to care for your natural hair and how to apply products to your natural hair so that you're not constantly having to heat style your hair and you're not constantly having to apply silicones and all of these products that are just going to cause buildup and scalp irritation. So that is everything for this video. I feel like I've been talking for so long. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but be sure to check out the description. I'll link every single thing that I talked about down below. As always, please leave me any hair video suggestions, any hair videos that you would like to see down below, because I'm going to try my best to incorporate more hair videos into my channel. So leave those down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.